Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we've got an AFC North tilt here, and this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
And if so, could it be a team that possibly we haven't talked about in a long time? Could it be the Cleveland Browns? Because they are the trendy pick right now with the young quarterback Baker Mayfield, the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., and so many other great moves that they've made along the way. Can they now move to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati? They believe they can.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. As we take a peek at the Oklahoma State product, their quarterback, Mason Rudolph.
Let's go. 90, Wolf. 40 them up. Right here, right here.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
In the center for Pittsburgh, Marquise Pouncey, one of the most physical and agile players at his position in the league. A 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. He's a keystone of one of the top offensive lines in the league.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On second down, Conner looking for space. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Let's go to the middle of the Baltimore defense where Brandon Williams holds court. And we often talk about how difficult it is to stop a big-time runner. How about trying to stop a big-time guy in the middle who wreaks havoc both with pass rush and against the run? Brandon Williams went to his first Pro Bowl at the end of the 2018 season.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now it's Rudolph. And he finds McDonald. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 45-yard line. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Ready, break.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Rudolph looking to throw. He's going to air one out, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Rudolph. Looking left sideline, incomplete. James Washington was the intended target. 3rd down here.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, it's Rudolph. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, 45 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the second-year man Lamar Jackson and this Baltimore Ravens offense. They sit at 2-2 through 4 weeks of the season after that loss at home against Cleveland last week, Charles. And Lamar threw 2 picks in that game, his first interceptions in his last 8 outings.
Yeah, he took care of the ball quite well, but I do believe we're seeing a little bit of a formula when you play Baltimore. You need to play from the front against them. Force them into a position where they're trying to play catch-up, throw the ball a little bit more, because otherwise they'll do damage against you. Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards running the football. Lamar Jackson off of that, also able to run the ball. When the ball's in the air a lot more, you feel like your chances are better against Baltimore, even though he threw for 247 and 3 touchdowns in addition to the 2 interceptions.
There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run from the pistol with Ingram. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
This 3rd down just got even more difficult. 3rd down and 15 after the false start. Jackson from the shotgun. He finds Roberts, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 22. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long, and this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They begin on the ground here with Connor. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. They'll try and run for it with Connor. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Cyrus Jones back to return for the Ravens. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The CD as Baltimore takes the field again here. I'm looking down at the ranks offensively in the NFL. And Baltimore's first in rushing, They're 6th in passing. That's kind of a surprise.
It is, and it's a pleasant surprise for Baltimore because first in rushing, we're not surprised at all. That's their philosophy. That's what they want to do. Picking up Mark Ingram in the offseason helps with that. Gus Edwards continues to run the ball well. And, of course, we know Lamar Jackson can run you out of the park. But 6th in passing, many people wondered, could Lamar Jackson throw the ball accurately, consistently at the NFL level? He's answering that question in a big way. And, by the way, they're first overall in total offense in the NFL. Pretty good for the Baltimore Ravens, despite the fact they've lost their last 2.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Those are the types of throws that Jackson has to be more efficient with this year. He really put an emphasis on improving his passing accuracy in the offseason because last year as a rookie, 58%, that was it. And his quarterback coach said the ball is coming out of his hand cleaner, the timing looks better. That's what they're hoping for. Everybody knows he can run, but now he continues his quest to be more well-rounded and improve on his conservative 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns he threw for last season.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd and 2, Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Throwing is Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Mark Barrett in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
You better be afraid of me. Ready?
Running to start the drive is Samuels. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5 up to the 25-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Go. Come on, boy. Go. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. Go.
They'll run here with counter. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Rudolph off the bootleg. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Rudolph now to throw. Johnson's got it complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Down. 8, read.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
Hit it.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Ready, go.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's Rudolph. He'll let this go for the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now 14-0. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
The throw there finding its way to Boyle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On first down, Ingram. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. The tackle there by Mark Barron.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson, and that's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Back onto the field comes this offense, and we're going to focus now on Mason Rudolph. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
94.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. They start with a give to counter. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
From the 36, Rudolph, and his throw here's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Rudolph. And that will be incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. Here's Jackson to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
8 yards on the pickup.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Here we go. Here we go.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
On 2nd and a yard, Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards there and a first down. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go play action with Jackson. He's going to air one out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Mason Rudolph leading this offense out for their next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
They start the drive with Cotter. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Sometimes you get just a little over-eager defensively when you've got people backed up, because the mentality is to attack, take the ball away, or at worst, just keep them backed up there for your own offense. They actually used their aggressiveness against them on that one and hit them big.
Absolutely. Had them pinned on the 2. Not anymore. Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. They go draw play. This is Samuels. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Samuels. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ready, ready. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Get it. Fight.
On first down, it's Samuels. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I got you.
Ready.
Here's Connor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
So we got man.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. It's caught by Roberts. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Jackson options out left. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing. and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. I'm going to have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Now on 2nd and 16. Jackson, short throw underneath to Hurst. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Jackson throwing on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Heading back out there, Jalen Samuels. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 11. The drive will start with Connor. And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, it's Connor. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Ready. 10 Lobo.
Hey, man. Watch the boot.
Shoot.
Here's Connor. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Jordan Berry now, standing just outside his own goal line. Here's Jones on the return. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. He's got it to Ingram, complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another 1st down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Ingram again, a 1st down carry. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Rolling to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
Excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. It's Conner as they stay on the ground. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Here comes a first down throw from Rudolph. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, but it's going to be second down. Well, Charles, taking a step back for a second, let's look at the undefeated teams still left in the NFL. We got New England, KC, they're 4-0, and then San Fran, they were open last week. They didn't have a game, so they're still at 3-0. We only have 3 teams left.
And they had the easiest path, not just because they had the open week, but how about New England getting challenged by Buffalo? Yes, they were on the road, but you don't often think of Buffalo as a team to really press New England. They did. And Kansas City, they got a heck of a test in Detroit. Had to score with 20 seconds left on the clock to win that game. So both of them remained undefeated, but not without struggles.
That's the interesting thing about Buffalo. I think we learned more about them in their 1 loss this year than we have in their 3 victories.
I think we would say the same thing about Kansas City because of how they got pressed, but we'd also say the same thing about Detroit, how they played Kansas City in that game.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, CD, we are a quarter way through the season already. I'm curious, if you look at each conference, which division race is most intriguing to you right now?
Well, can we start in the NFC?
You do whatever you want.
Because if so, let's go to the North. Because we thought it would be a tough division coming into the season because I felt like you could make a case for everyone but Detroit when the season began. Now we're looking at Minnesota. They seem a little uncertain at 2-2. Chicago just lost their quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky, for an indefinite amount of time, but that defense is playing awfully well. And Green Bay has Aaron Rodgers. So I think that division now is brutal, and then you've got to throw in Detroit. It's not the same old Lions. Matthew Stafford, he plays with heart, played hurt, and I think that they are improving as time goes on.
How about the AFC?
Well, I think the AFC South. Everyone's 2-2. We thought it would be a tough division. We thought it would be intriguing. And Gardner Minshew's mustache really adds a little extra intrigue to the whole thing. And we saw Marcus Mariota get off the deck and play well last week, too.
A gain of 3, second down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 38, Jackson. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 24 yards. Nice big gain there from Marquise Brown, first-round pick out of Oklahoma. Of course, his cousin knows a thing or two about big catches in the NFL. That's Antonio Brown. And now Hollywood hoping to carry on the family tradition of solid production at the wide receiver position. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This from 54 yards away. Tucker's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's second down. Partner, earlier we were talking about the undefeated teams in the league. Let's switch that and look at the teams at the bottom, like Miami, Washington, Denver, etc. Who is there hope for that is off to a really rough start?
And if we're talking about hope, are we talking about this season or are we talking about the future?
Well, let's do in the future.
Okay, in the future, well, Miami's accumulating draft picks at an incredible rate, but they'll have to hit on all of them and make great decisions in free agency. If so, then they definitely have hope for the future. If you're Washington, well, you drafted Dwayne Haskins this past year. Can you build around a rookie quarterback, a young guy, and make this thing work? If you're Denver, you've got to get some things figured out because normally their defense carries them. Arizona, well, of course, Kyler Murray's there in a new system. Will it take root? Will it take hold? Atlanta is the biggest surprise to me in the early going at 1-3. I don't think any of us saw this coming, but they can still climb back into the race if they can get on a little bit of a run.
So Atlanta would be a team, if we're talking this season, you think still might have some hope?
I still believe that in the NFC South, a tough division, but because of familiarity breeding contempt, they won't be as concerned about playing those teams. They know them, they're familiar, and they have Matty Ice, Matt Ryan at quarterback. They can get hot in a hurry.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now a play fake, and it's Rudolph. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 52 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
They'll run on first down. Samuels. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Connor. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Boswell for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Now it's Rudolph. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Back to the air, Rudolph on 2nd down. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Set, ready? 30 base. 48 right now. Let's go. Come on. You better bring it. Let's go.
On 2nd and 12, Rudolph. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Ready?
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. And McDonald here over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Here's Rudolph. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. On 2nd down now, it's Connor, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Down.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they've got to be careful of taking care of the football and not turning it over for the defense to score additional points.
Jackson now down around his goal line. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. Well, everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. That's caught left side by the tight end Boyle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Jackson now. And that will be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start the drive with Samuels. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw, Rudolph. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. He's got it. They're back within a score. It's 8, 21-13. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he finds McDonald. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Ready, break.
Check, 48's the mic. Hey.
Five.
On 1st down, Connor, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
A draw play is called because you think you've either found a gap or you're using the aggressiveness of the defensive line against itself. Not on that play. Totally controlled the middle of the field. Offense had nowhere to go with the ball.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Rudolph. And that is incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one may be his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
Absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Now Jackson back into his end zone. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's his safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Here's Switzer.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. On the run is Connor. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Play action. It's Rudolph. Washington's got it. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 22 yards there, a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't.
This is Samuels. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 39, Rudolph. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 39 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After a
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point now by Boswell. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Jackson from the shotgun. Letting one go deep for Roberts. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Switzer on the return. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Earl Thomas in on the stop. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Again, it's Connor. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Let's go, defense. Let's go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Shoot.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. So they went a little cautious there on 3rd and long.
Man, nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a first down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. On the return is Jones. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On the draw, this is Ingram. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Now it's Jackson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Roberts has it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. And he's got Snead. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. And Jackson throwing once more. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now Jackson. Snead's got it. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Jackson will throw again. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 20-yard line.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Key tight end. Everyone's got four down.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Jackson throwing here complete to Boyle. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. And a 20th carry now for Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, that turnover might just about do it here. Fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. Call it a gain of 3. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Ready. 60 outlaw. Here's the clear.
On third down, it's Connor. He's got a first down past the 30, and he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Come on, set. 60 or.
Double time. We got three, fellas. We got three.
Ready?
They'll run on first down. Samuels, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Ready? Check back 40. Here it comes. Leg. Go.
On second down, it's Connor. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and it'll be 4th down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. From the gun, it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Jackson on first down. Roberts got it. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Jackson to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
On first and 10, it's Jackson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Cameron Sutton, and the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
James Washington making his way back out towards the huddle. When you're in a zone like he is, what's the conversation like on the sideline between he and his quarterback? Is that a one-way conversation of, hey, just keep getting me the football?
It actually is probably a two-way conversation because he wants to keep getting him the football because he's seeing the payoff. You know, getting the ball to that guy means yardage, and as we've seen, touchdowns in this game. So I think both of them get more and more excited about the possibilities as things continue on.
Yeah, so far it's been over 100 yards and the 2 scores.
Sit up.
They begin on the ground here with Connor. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mike 40, Mike 40. Let's go one more. 2 times, 2 times. 3 down, 3 down. 3 down, 3 down.
They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And the return will stop right around the 25. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head. Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away. Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Ready? 8, read.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. He's coming.
On 1st down, Connor. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Again, a run with counter. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
18 Gator.
It's our field.
Hey,
Hey, it's our house.
Be driven.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This from 36 yards out. Boswell's kick is good, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, Jackson. He finds Roberts, complete. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, Jackson. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. One last shot for Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.